everyone, it's Outrider here. Happy 2025, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope it's going to be a good year for you all. And it's that time of the year. It's a little bit late for me this year. I normally get this out just around Christmas time or just on New Year's Eve. A little bit late, I'm filming it on New Year's Day. This is my top Transformers of 2024. And yeah, I've got a few shout outs first, a few honourable mentions, a few, well, crap Transformers as well, let's just say. So shall we dive straight into it? Let's start off negative and then move on to some of the positives, shall we? So I think biggest disappointment of 2024, and there's been a few of them in this Legacy United. It's been a little bit of a wash up wave of figures, a lot of figures that really aren't interested, that I'm not interested in anyway. But the one that was the biggest disappointment for me was this one, Cyberverse, was it Cyberverse? Cybertron, sorry, Hotshot. Just simply because it does nothing, it does less than what the original did. I just played with it a couple of times. It's awkward. The posability isn't great, to be honest with you, and I just don't like it. I just don't like this figure. I wish I'd never have bought it, and yeah, it's a shame. But he is one of the biggest disappointments for me. And one of the worst. Another one of the worst, I have to say, or disappointing, I think the Fossilizer gimmick, or what these Rock Lords things. This is just one example. I got this in a bulk lot from Inderman Toys. But I think the whole Fossilizer, the whole Weaponizer thing needs to die now. I think it's been done to death. I think we end up with a couple of moulds, and then like this is the Magnus mould, hasn't it? It's been used 3 times. I'm just sick of them now. I think it needs a rest. I think it was great when they did the Fossilizers, when they did the Micromaster bases. This is just a step too far for me. Actually, there is one more worst figure of the year. It's that bloody Nemesis there. I don't think that's a worst figure of the year. I think that's a worst figure of the decade. I think it's terrible. The design is terrible. The robot mode is terrible. It doesn't stand together. It's a stupid price for a stupid design, and it should have been Trypticon. It should have been War for Cybertron Trypticon instead of that horrible crap design. So I hate the bloody thing. So that's why it sits in ship mode, because it'll never be transformed again. And now a couple of figures that aren't disappointing. They're absolutely awesome, but they're disappointing because the whole multi-pack mix thing needs to go away and die. It really does. I mean, I picked up Cliff Jumper, the 4-pack, mainly for Cliff Jumper here, and Squeeze Play, who's pretty cool as well. And I had to buy the 5-pack to get Hound here. Now, I will say that they are better versions of the other figures. I think Sunstreaker is an amazing figure, probably the best one of the lot. But nevertheless, having to pay £100+ for one figure that you haven't got, or having to pay for multi-packs, I'm just sick of it now. It's really wearing me thin, to be completely honest with you, to the point where I might not even bother. And speaking of not bothering, Hasbro, for the love of Christ, can you please stop with this mould? Right, I am sick of it. It's not even that good, right? It's not like it's the Sideswipe mould from Kingdom / Siege, wasn't it, originally? That's been done and retooled over and over. That was a good mould. This is pants. And the worst thing, this is a Cyberverse version of Tarn. It's got no wheels on it. The cannon section falls off on his right arm, so I can't even have the cannon on there. I've got the original version of the mould. It was good. I liked it. I really, really did. I'm sick of this now, and I've had to buy it, 4 times now? Sick of it. Get rid of them. Throw it in the bin, Hasbro. Get rid of that bloody mould. And on to a couple of honourable mentions. I want to call out Windsweeper here. This is with a third-party add-on kit that I got from TFN. Again, he would have been on my list, but he was in a 2-pack. Again, he was with Breakdown, wasn't it? Prime Breakdown. Shouldn't have been in there, but he's a lovely, lovely figure, even though he's a retool. But he shouldn't have been packaged up with him. He should have been packaged up with Ruckus, for example, who I ended up paying £60-odd for another version of this bloody mould. I think it's actually 5 that I've bought in total. 4 or 5? Can't even remember. But Windsweeper here is another honourable mention. He's really nice. And what has really well, blown Transformers out the park over the recent months has been Blockies. These little figures, no matter which one it is, have been a little bit of a revelation for us collectors, whether it be the Transformers 1-1s, which I really, really like and I'm all in on, or the G1-1s, which I'm not full in on, but I'll pick one or two of them. They are amazing. They are great. They are fun. They've got some entertainment value because you get to build them. I really, really like them. I think they are a great honourable mention this year. Right, shall we get on to the top 10? And moaning and honourable mentions out the way, I have no idea what order I'm going to put this in, so I'm going to pick up this one first. And it's not just this figure, it's any figure by YOLO Park, especially the AMK series. This is the G1 series with some lights in there. I haven't got the batteries in. But to me, this is the perfect robot mode versions of, I've got Prime, Megatron and now Starscream. I think Starscream is probably the best. It's brought in that toon aesthetic with some real world like wear and tear across there, some weathering. Really, really beautiful, and for 50 quid each, less than the leader price, they are beautiful. I know some of you will say these aren't Transformers because they don't transform, but I think we're living in a world now where actually they're being a little bit more accepted now, and I'm all in on these. As soon as they, well, I say all in, I'm not going to get like the Nemesis Prime repaint or anything like that, but they give me a Skywalk, give me a Thundercracker, give me a Soundwave, give me a Bumblebee, give me an Ultra Magnus. I am all over them. Give me a Hot Rod. Please give me a Hot Rod. But yeah, in number 10, YOLO Park. Anything by him, but let's call it Starscream. Right, in 9th place, we've got the Titan himself, the big guy. We have got Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave, I've been wanting him for years and years to grace the Titan class of figure, and we finally got him this year. And he's good, like a lot of Transformers this year. He's good, he's solid. There's not a lot to him though, and what I mean, there's not many gimmicks, firing missiles, minicons. There should have been a minicon in this for me, 100%. I take a minicon instead of his silly armour pieces, and the annoying thing about the armour pieces is if you take them off, parts of his legs look missing and all that kind of stuff. But he's good. Is he £200 good? Absolutely not. But he's good, and I like him, and I'm happy to have a big ass Tidal Wave in the collection. So there we go. In 8th place, I'm going to go Dinobot Leader Class Swoop. And this is more for the fact that he finishes those Dinobots. But he's not perfect, right? Again, it's a same story with Hasbro this year. He's good, but he's got no bells and whistles. I mean, he hasn't even got any arm covers. And I think that the whole transformation design where his arms peg into his wings instead of his torso is just idiotic. You want those arms to be stable, they just fall out the pegs on the wings. Really disappointing. But his Swoop is my favourite Dinobot. He's the best version of Swoop that we've probably ever had and ever will have. Yeah, he's definitely in the top 10 because he's Swoop and he does a good job. But he's probably mid-range, mid-tier out the Dinobots. I think Grimlock is the best. I think Snarl, then probably Slag, Swoop, Sludge, the actual designs of them. But nevertheless, really happy to have him. And he's a good figure. And we finished those Leader Class Dinobots. I'm actually going to sit there and transform them into Dino mode. I think I've had them in bot mode for a while, so I might mix it up for 2025. Number 7, we have a 2-pack. Well, technically it was a 3-pack that actually worked together in Hasbro. I've got no problem with you doing multi-packs, as long as they don't have an exclusive figure in it, like Bloody Hound, or they actually go together. And these figures do go together. The Deluxe Insecticons, Barrage and Chop Shop, and they had this repack of one of these Bloody Hammer minicon things. These are lovely, especially Chop Shop. Really, really love them. I have not got the original G1 Deluxe Insecticons. I would love them. I actually went to get a Chop Shop from TFN this year, and there was one not there. There's been Space Bridges had 2 every bloody year, and he must have bloody sold them because he knew I was after them. But Barrage, Chop Shop, Shrapnel remold, and this is a Bombshell with remold. Loads of new parts, loads of new paint. Really, really cool. Probably the best 2-pack of the year. Really, really love them. Deserve to be at number 7. Number 6, just outside the top 5, I'm going to go for Transformers 1 Studio Series Megatron. Yes, the long-legged Megs. It's a lovely figure. As deluxe Megatrons go, we don't see them very often anymore. And this is great. I think it looks good in both modes. Yes, the cannon's a little bit small. I'm not quite sure which part of the film this is kind of aiming to be, because really you should have orange eyes and not red eyes at this point, I think anyway. But it's a great figure. I really, really like Megatron in that film. I think it's the best incarnation of Megatron we've had, the best story, the best story arc, and this figure really encapsulates that. I hope we get a leader one day. I hope we do get a leader of his final form. But until then, or even a Voyager, but until then, this will do. Really, really nice figure, and Transformers 1 was a real gift, wasn't it? But yeah, there we go. Transformers 1 Megatron is at number 6. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a theme to the top 5, especially number 4 to 2. But I'm going to start off the top 5 with 2 lovely Missing Link figures. It is Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. I got these just before Christmas. I gave this one to my mum to give me. So I've only had him a few days, whereas Bumblebee I opened when he arrived. How they have engineered these things to still look and feel like the original toy, with rubber tyres, with the original stickers, even they've found a place for a rub symbol, and give them teeny tiny weapons. Give them this lovely rocket launcher as a homage to the first episode. These are lovely, they are beautiful. I'm fully in for the Missing Link. I really, really love them, and yeah, they're great. These are kind of like how I remember the G1 toys to be in my head, even though they weren't this articulated. Please do more. Please do more of these. Please do more mini-bots. I know we got Sunstreaker coming, and I need to pre-order him, but these are beautiful and deserve to be in the top 5. Okay, in at number 4 is probably the figure that I thought would be number 1. And when I've done this list a few times, I've put it at number 1, but I've moved it down to 4 for a couple of reasons. Even though it is an outstanding figure, I am not putting it any higher than 4 because I think Hasbro have missed the mark with it. It is Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. Now, it is a beautiful figure. There are a few proportional issues. I think these chest parts are a little bit too big. There's some lovely deco paintwork. They misassembled him. Shock horror. This has got the... I've given the big gun out the Centurion pack, which I think works a lot better, actually. I think it gives him a little bit more scale, because that gun was quite big, if I remember rightly, in the movie. I could be wrong. But even though this is a lovely figure, I mean, mine's got a slightly rocky hip, which is annoying. But where I think they've really missed the mark is with the head sculpt. And this is why it's not number 1 for me. This head is not based on Transformers the movie. This head looks nothing like how Optimus Prime did in Transformers the movie. This looks like MP10 to me. And that's where they've missed the mark. You've seen some of these third-party head sculpts that are around and about that are absolutely outstanding, that really capture what Prime looked like in the movie. This doesn't. So that's why I've marked it down. Not because it's not a good figure, because it is a good figure. It is a wonderful, beautiful figure. But this is meant to be the complete pinnacle of animation Optimus Prime, and this isn't for me. The face is off. But nevertheless, he's a good figure. He deserves to be in the top 5. He's a very, very good figure. And it might sound like I'm hating on it a little bit. And maybe I am for the price point of, what, nearly £100. But I think that Hasbro should have done better with this, and that's why it's so low down on the list. So into the top 3, and I'm going to go for this fella. I am going to go for the Legacy United Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. And the reason, people will be going, well, why have you gone for this over this? Well, this is a quarter of the price, and this nails exactly what it is trying to do. This doesn't. This is trying to be a toy version of Optimus Prime. Yes, you know, you got the axe at the animation. It gives you a couple of weapons, but this is trying to be a toy version of Optimus. It nails the head, it nails the aesthetic, it nails the colours. It is perfect for what it's trying to be. Whereas Commander Class Prime here isn't quite being what it should be. And that's why I've marked it up higher on the list. It is beautiful. It is tiny. The robot mode is smaller. The truck mode is tiny, smaller than the G1. But it's really well done. It comes with the 2 guns, so you can have either, I think that's the comic accurate gun and one's a toy accurate gun. I might have got them the wrong way around. I think this should be the toy accurate gun, actually. That rings a bell. But it's beautiful. Really, really nice figure. Really, really like it. And for a quarter of the cost of Commander Class Prime, you can get yourself a little fun Optimus that's easy to flip backwards and forwards. Very similar to G1. Lovely figure, deserves to be in the top 3. And definitely one of the best Optimus Primes of the year. But not the best Optimus Prime of the year, because the best Optimus Prime in the year for me is Missing Link Optimus Prime, for the very much the same reasons as this fellow here. I mean, I went for the animation one, simply because I didn't, well, for 2 reasons. Number 1, I didn't want another bloody trailer. And number 2, I wanted it to go with the cartoon versions of G1 toys that they released the other year, you know, like Hot Rod with the animation colours, all that kind of stuff. That's why I went for this. I think it's beautiful. I think it is it pulls on your nostalgia heartstrings. It really, really does. It's well built. It's got ratchets. Ratchets in the knees. Lovely chrome. Nailed the head sculpt. It's just beautiful. It's just done really, really well. Built better. Obviously it's a Takara product. It's built really well. It has a soul of G1 with modern articulation, and that's exactly what Missing Link should be. And I think that he is the best Optimus Prime we may have had in 40 years. Who knows? But he's beautiful. Really, really nice. Really, really love him. And yeah, bit of a mixture there, but I nearly forgot about this figure. He was nearly going to be my number 1. And this actually, I think, arrived on the 17th, 18th of January. And it's been in my detolf behind me ever since. And I forgot about it, but I forgot I had it this year. And it had to be number 1. It had to be number 1 because of the experience. It's the first time I've done one of these things. And I'm just going to show you what it is. It is HasLab Deathsaurus. The character means nothing to me, even though I do think it's beautiful. I think the design, the concept of him, the build, everything is really, really nice. I love the throne. I love everything about it. He was the first and only HasLab I've taken part in. I didn't take part in Unicron. I haven't taken part in the Robots in Disguise one. I didn't see the point really. But I had Star Saber, so I wanted to get Deathsaurus. And he arrived, I think it was 17th, 18th of January. And because I waited a year for him, because it was one of those experiences where I'd never done a Kickstarter or anything like that before, I'm going to have to put him in number 1. Really going to have to put him in number 1. And he deserves to be. He's really, really nice. I think he was about 170, 180, I think, which is sub-Titan price. Interestingly, it's what the new price point will be for Titans with Star Convoy or Star Optimus, whatever they're calling him. But he comes with loads of accessories, 2 of his breastmasters, and we even got these 2 little fellas, Bota and I want to say Fix It, but I think that's a UK name thrown in as well. So that's it. That is my top 10 Transformers of 2024 with a few moans and criticisms thrown in there. What's made your list? Do you disagree? Do you agree with anything that I've said? Let me know in the comments below. What am I looking forward to this year? I know a few people have been doing videos about what they would like to see in their collections, and it's a bit of an odd one really, because we hadn't even got to 2025 and the pre-orders had gone up for for the Commander area bot, Commander Silverboat. 2 of the area bots had gone up, Star Convoy had gone up, Devastator's about to go up, the Commander Hook and Long Haul. So there's not really much speculation. There's just facts about what's coming up. We are going to get a Devastator. I'm excited about it. I don't think it looks as good as the Combiner Wars, I've got to be honest. I think the Superion looks superior, to be completely honest. That's kind of what I wanted. I don't think we necessarily needed another Devastator, but I can understand why they've done it in Studio Series 86. I really hope they get some mini-cons out to us in some way, shape or form to go with those Armada figures, because they look a bit naked without them, don't they? I'd love some more Yellow Park stuff, so a Hot Rod would be cool, a Soundwave would be cool, a Jazz maybe, a Bumblebee, that would be really, really cool. But yeah, a lot of the stuff has already been announced, so it's hard to really speculate. The one thing I want more than anything, especially from a combiner point of view, is a Bruticus, and I believe that a Vortex is in Wave 2, so of which I believe hit June, July this year, because Wave 1's due in April and not in January as they normally are, but anyway. So probably the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is a Bruticus. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as I said before, let me know if you agree, disagree, or what's in your top 10 in the comments below. And until next time, I've been Zork Rider, and I'll catch you again very, very soon.